Welcome, everyone. I promise I am not in a prison cell right now. I am in my barracks at Camp Grayling, still doing military stuff, but I wanted to get in here and do a video, our day 2 video of the moon cycle mental cleanse. And today I'm going to be talking about meditation. We're going to do our first quick meditation just so everyone kind of gets an introduction and we sort of get a base layer of what meditation is, why we do it, how it can help, and how we're going to tie that into this whole mental cleanse. It's a really important part of the mental cleanse. So before I get into meditation specifically, I want to talk about mind-body connection because I will talk and refer to that all month long. So just so we understand the lingo, understand what it is, I thought I would cover that first. So when I say mind, what I'm talking about is our thoughts, our intellectual process. Some people call it monkey mind, like your internal dialogue. That's all what I'm referring to when I say mind. Now, body is obviously what's happening in our body, and our body generally always reflects what's happening in our thoughts when they're connected. So an example would be anxiety. I might have a presentation that I have to do and my body is expressing anxiety. So it could be increased heart rate, it could be sweating, it could be I get like flushed through the neck. It could be shaky voice. It could be like your stomach feels a little uneasy. So your body is actually expressing anxiety. And then if you go to your mind, you might, there might be thoughts of like, oh, I hope I don't mess this up. Did I prepare enough for this presentation? Things like that. So that's sort of what I'm talking about when I refer to my body. And you might hear me say like, get out of your head, get back to your body. And that's what I'm saying is that we want for the most self-awareness, we need to keep our mind-body connected. And sometimes when we're dealing with overwhelming stress, depression, anxiety, anything like that, we seem to separate them. Like I tell my clients that I get in my private practice that come for trauma is you can't think your way out of a trauma. Like a trauma is a feeling experience. Otherwise, we could just think our way out of things. And that's kind of what I was referring to yesterday is that sometimes it's not as easy as if, say you struggle with low self-esteem. Oh, just think to yourself that you have high self-esteem, or I'm worthy of love, or I'm enough, or whatever it is. Just think it over and over. And the missing piece to that is this mind-body connection of feeling it also in our body. So like even sad emotions, we can feel in our body and it makes them even stronger. You can do that with more pleasant emotions as well. So the connection between mind and body happens with almost all feelings. In fact, sometimes our body holds things and expresses things that we're not even aware of, that are in our subconscious and maybe eventually will come to our conscious mind. There's a concept called like the biology of belief, and I'll get into it later into the moon cycle, that it's the idea that literally our beliefs can change down to a molecular level ourselves. And there's a person, Dr. Lipton, who wrote a book called The Biology of Belief, and you can also watch his YouTube video where he kind of goes through his concept and more the scientific and the biological explanation of understanding thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. But basically, he proves that what we believe about ourselves, what we tell ourselves, it changes our cell. Like down to molecular level, it changes the cell, which is pretty profound. So we already know that there's a significant connection between what we think and how our body is made up. So going into meditation, one of the things that meditation does for us is it helps us reconnect. What I notice is a lot of people disconnect mind, body, and then they're stuck in their head, or they're just feeling it in their body, but nothing is coming up in their head. So meditation is, I'm going to call it grounding, and that's probably what I'll refer to it from now on, of like, make sure you're grounded. What that is saying is make sure your mind body is connected, and meditation is a way to teach you how to connect it. So it's not just, meditation is good for relaxation, but there's a bigger purpose. Like a hot bath is good for relaxation too. Like meditation, there's a lot more to it than just to relax, and we should use it to that extent. Like if it's there, why wouldn't you use it? If you're digging a hole and there's a teeny shovel or, a massive shovel, why would you use the teeny shovel to dig the hole? So that's why meditation really is important, because it's going to retrain our mind and our body to come back together. So when we feel like they're separating, or we're stuck in our feelings, or like if people say I'm stuck in my head, that they've already separated from their body. So, connecting mind body helps us be intentional and have more self-awareness into the decisions we want to make, our understanding of the world. And it's like a very non-biased, neutral place to step into whatever it is that, whether it's we're going into a new relationship, going into a breakup, going into a new job, going into parenting our children, going into our performance, anything like that. It's a very neutral place, neutral platform to step into that, rather than being stuck in one or the other and stepping into it in anger or something like that. So it's going to be really important for the work that we're going to do. Now, meditation is an internal process. Unfortunately, as we start off as kids and we are taught to look at the external world and make opinions about ourselves and about the world, how we understand the world, how we understand relationships, how we understand people. And that perception of ourselves and others is built through external validation or external influence. Well, what meditation does is it's an internal process. So it's the process of getting back inside to this version, this like true version or higher version or awakened version of yourself, and then constructing your world from the inside out rather from the outside in. And most people as kids growing up into adults are very influenced by the external world. So we're going to start peeling that onion layer back to the core and then building from there. What meditation does is it helps you get connected back to what that core even is. With like all of these layers, sometimes it can be really confusing. So it's like getting back to what your true intention is and your purpose here on life. We can get into existential stuff of like, what's my purpose? But it's to get back internally to your awakened self, which ideally we all get back to, and then proceed with our lives and make decisions from that place. So meditation also, what it does is it calms the nervous system. So, and also later in the moon cycle, I'll get really probably too far into the nervous system, but the nervous system is so important when it comes to doing our own work and our emotions and our mental health. And the nervous system is essentially the fight, flight, freeze response. It's a very primitive response. When our nervous system is engaged, then we are generally in fight, flight, freeze. And that reaction was really helpful back in caveman days when we had had to escape from a saber-toothed tiger. It's not so helpful when we're trying to parent our children and we're in this fight, flight, freeze, or when we're trying to be in a relationship with someone, or work out a problem, or even step into our next job, into our next profession, into a performance of some sort. We don't want to be activated in that position. It is meant, our bodies are designed for us to shoot up into a fight, flight response and then come back down. But in our society, it's created so much stimulus that what happens is we shoot up in fight or flight, stay there for a long time, i.e. anxiety, among other things. And then we crash down to our freeze stage, which is where, like, imagine a computer and you power it down and there's nothing there. So that's the people, and that's more like depression. So like people that feel numb, people that don't have feelings, where you might think sometimes like, I should feel a certain way and I feel nothing. Like if something bad happened and you feel like you should be upset and you're not upset, it might be that your nervous system is kind of shut down. And I'm going to call that shock. So you might be in shock, and shock can be a shutdown of the nervous system or a like heightened stage of the nervous system, the fight flight reaction. So a lot of people live their lives in shock. They live their lives in that heightened state, or that like don't care about anything state. Our goal with meditation is to quiet the nervous system so it brings us back to sort of this equilibrium, or like this true state, ground zero, like whatever you want to call it. Is meditation brings us back in to sit in this spot where our mind and body are connected, and we can make decisions with awareness. We can make changes. We can be present for relationships. We can be self-aware and get a clear picture of the things that we want to work on from that place. Because it's hard when you're either heightened or you're numb to get any kind of awareness into what's going on and how you need to change it. Because essentially it's reactionary. And we don't want to be reactionary. We want to be intentional about what we work on. So, part of meditation, there's no wrong way to do meditation. I will go through kind of some basic stuff to just check in with, like basic body position, but allow yourself the freedom to explore it in whatever way. Like I mentioned in the last video, it took me like 6 months to really figure out how I meditate best to get the most out of it. Another thing with when we're disconnected from mind body, and why it's important to bring those two back together, is when we're disconnected, we're more susceptible to anything. And this is particularly during times like this where it's super stressful, there's a lot of unknowns. You don't want to be in a position where you're susceptible for anything. Like you want to be at your healthiest version physically and emotionally, so that whatever's coming on, if you're going through like a significant stressor, that you're in a place that you can process and work through what's happening, and you're not in this shock stage and just reacting to it. So it could be things like some signs that I listen to see if someone's in shock or see if they're disconnected from mind body. Sleep is a huge thing. So if you're having any difficulties in sleep, where you have trouble falling asleep or you have trouble staying asleep, you don't feel rested when you wake up, that's a little bit of a flag to me, depending on what your sleep history is. Memory problems is a significant one, because when we're in fight or flight stage, our long-term memory isn't engaged. In fact, it's sort of cut off because another part of our brain is firing and sending the alarms that the rest of our brain can't engage. And so when we can quiet those alarms, then we can start to access different parts of our brain. And one of those parts that's affected is memory. So if you've ever been super stressed and you've noticed that your memory seems to be getting worse, and it's not a medical condition, it's not old age, it's not dementia, whatever it is, that is why, is because your brain, there's a part of your brain that's overactivated and it's not allowing your memory to store these memories. Another like physical illness. So when you're stressed out, people are more likely to get sick. And like I said, during Corona, like no one wants to catch this. So we want to make sure really our mind and body is as connected as possible for as long as possible, and we can stay sort of in this neutral zone. High blood pressure is another common side effect of being disconnected or of being in this shock state. Less self-control. And so this could be like you get angry a lot easier, you're irritated a lot easier. It also could be self-control with diet, that you notice, like we talk about like eating your feelings. A lot of that is because we're disconnected and we're in our feelings, which it's not always bad to be in our feelings. It's just how we're in our feelings. And so your impulse control goes down, and where you might say no to your fifth brownie, you're like, screw it, whatever, I'm going to eat whatever. It could be impulse control drinking as well, or any kind of drug or substance. Is that when we're not in this neutral zone, we're much more susceptible to be making impulsive decisions. I find it with people who have problems losing weight and are doing, healthy ways to lose weight, and still that weight is just holding on. I like to check into this mind-body connection and into shock to see if there's a way when we're in that state where it's almost self-preservation. So our body isn't worried about losing weight. It's worrying about like surviving what it thinks is a threat. So there's tons of negative side effects and signs and red flags. And if as I'm talking, you're like, oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. It's just feedback for you. And it's not saying this is absolutely what's going wrong, because, our first rule of thumb is rule out anything medical. And I am not a doctor. I'm not a PA. I'm not a nurse. So our first thing, make sure it's not medical, but just begin to become aware. A lot of things we can control psychologically. You just look at the concept of placebos. Like we can trick our body into thinking a drug is something other than like a water pill, or, a blank pill is something that's going to cure depression, and then depression is cured. So we do that. Our mind does that. Our mind is so incredibly powerful. People can control their pain levels with their mind. Even though that's a physical sensation, they can control it through their mind. So if any of those resonated, just start to begin to pay attention, get some feedback, get some information about what's going on with that. And then as we move through how to deal with shock, how to connect your mind body, just note if any of it is improved or if there's been any changes to it. So people that are able to stay more connected, a lot of times they notice an improvement in all areas of their life. So they're able to be more present. They remember things that happen. They're able to be more creative. They have clearer thoughts or feel like they can think clearer. Their mood is a lot more level. They're not, going 0 to 60 and being irritated. Things roll off their shoulders that should roll off their shoulders. Sometimes it's okay to be irritated. It's a feeling that we have, but to be irritated about everything in your life, like that's a lot of overtime on your nervous system. And I know I want to save my nervous system for when I really need my nervous system to engage. Attention span can get better if you're more connected. Self-control, self-awareness. So there's tons of benefits to this mind-body connection and through that meditation. So let's get into the meditation. We're going to do a quick meditation right now. Now, if you don't have time to do meditation right now, pause this video and come back to it. It's just going to be a 5 to 10 minute meditation, but I want to make sure that you're ready to do it and you're not just listening to it. So the first thing is you want to get into a place where you don't have a lot of distraction, especially if you're just learning how to meditate, because we want to create an environment that helps us the most that we can when we're learning a new habit or a new behavior. We don't want to throw all of these challenges, like just be gentle on yourself and find a place that is quiet. If you have kids, don't try to do it while they're playing in the next playroom, because there's a part of you that's listening for a crash or listening for a scream. Do it after they've gone asleep. Have someone watch them while you step out for a little bit. So allow yourself, and this is part of self-care, like you deserve to meditate for 5 or 10 minutes each day. Like you deserve the time, you deserve the quiet, you like make time for it. It's important. You deserve it. And it's going to help you move into the direction that you want to move. Everyone's here for a reason. No one's watching this video like, I got it all together. I'm just listening to this video because I have nothing else to do. I'm sure those people have other things to do with their time than listen to my video. So you chose to be here because you know that you can benefit from it. So provide yourself the space to benefit from it. So make sure you're in a quiet area where you're not going to be distracted. If you have animals, just be mindful of that. Usually my dog will lay on the couch and sleep. Like I wouldn't try and do it right at dinner time because she's going to be sitting there whining and it's going to be hard for me to get still and to get quiet. So the position while you meditate doesn't really matter. You want to be in a comfortable position. Sometimes people recommend you cross your legs. Listen, it's just about getting in a place where you can relax. If that's laying down, if you need some sort of lumbar support, if you need a pillow, if you need whatever it is that you need, make sure you have, and it's in a position where you're not going to fall asleep. So that's the other thing. I don't meditate laying down normally because I fall asleep really easily when I'm relaxed. And I've done meditations where I wake up like 2 hours later because I'm so relaxed. And at least sitting in a chair, I don't fall asleep, or I haven't yet, at least. So the position is just equal weight on your seat. You want to make sure that you're sitting or laying straight and that you're in a position that's as relaxed as possible. If you're sitting, a lot of times to relieve strain in your neck, if you just push your chin in a little bit, and it gives you a little bit of a double chin, but we're doing this for us and not for anyone else. So if you have a double chin for a little bit, it just is what it is. Don't take any selfies. So that's something that I've found is nice. Like when I sit square on my seat bones, if I just push my chin in a little bit, it really helps to release any tension here. Because when you do a meditation, you don't want to be concentrated on tension somewhere else. Actually, you can use that as a tool. That's like meditation expert level. But right now we're just going to do beginner level, and eventually we'll get into like looking into our body parts and seeing what's going on there. But so get in a comfortable position. Some people like to touch their fingertips. Some people like to keep their palms open, like ready to receive. Some people like to have them closed, whatever. However you want to do it at this time, whatever feels most comfortable to you is really what's important. You want to make sure your arms are in a position where you're not tightening them. You're not having to hold them. Same with your feet, your legs, that you're in a position where you can just sort of let them go and relax. So go ahead. I'm going to give everyone a second to get into a nice, comfortable position. And then just spend a few minutes paying attention to your breath. Don't change your breath, just notice your breath. Notice if you're taking deep breaths, if you're taking shallow breaths. Notice how it feels when you breathe in, if you're breathing in through your nose or through your mouth. And either way is fine right now. However you're breathing in is just fine. And then pay attention to how it feels when you exhale. So our breath is really powerful in connecting ourselves to our body, slowing our mind down. And if you haven't already, go ahead and close your eyes. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Just paying attention to your breath. And now, in the natural rhythm of your breath, I want you to take a little bit deeper breath, making sure your tummy is rising and falling. That you're not just taking shallow breaths from the top of your lungs, that you're filling your lungs all the way up. And it doesn't have to be a dramatic, like, fitting all the air in your lungs. Just expand your lungs a little bit more. Still relaxing, noticing your breath, paying attention to your body. Eyes closed, body relaxed. Focusing inward. And if you have thoughts that come to your mind, or there's any kind of distractions, anytime you can just bring yourself back to your breath, bring yourself back to your body in whatever way works best for you, and just sort of let those thoughts go. And if you find yourself going through your to-do list or going through what you didn't get done today, just gently bring yourself right back to your body. And if it goes out again, gently bring yourself right back. There's been times where I've brought myself back through my whole meditation, and it's just where I'm at for that day. And there's other days that I close my eyes and I can go right to that place where my mind-body is connected. And so I want you now to begin to imagine that you're laying in a field. And perhaps you're laying on a blanket, someplace comfortable, or maybe sitting in a chair, somewhere in a field, looking up at the clouds. And as you look up at the clouds, you begin to notice that the clouds form numbers. And you feel really comfortable in this field. It's the perfect weather, not too hot, not too cold. Just watching those clouds, seeing them take shape, turning into numbers. And then you all of a sudden notice the number 10 in the clouds. Just seems to slowly float together to form a 1 and a 0. Just watching that cloud, feeling more and more relaxed as you watch the cloud. Going deeper and deeper into relaxation, looking at that number 10, noticing as it slowly starts to break apart. Dispersing into little parts. And you notice slowly forming the number 9 in the clouds. With every number going down, you feel more and more relaxed. Going deeper and deeper into relaxation with every number down. Staring at that number 9. Feeling your body begin to let go, the tension to let go. And as you notice the number 9 slowly start to dissolve into the sky, you feel any tension in your body dissolve as well. Looking up into the sky still, seeing the clouds form a number 8. Watching the clouds take shape. Feeling relaxed with every number down. Your body beginning to sink heavier and deeper into whatever surface you're on. Your arms feel relaxed. Going deeper and deeper. And as that number 8 dissolves into the sky, you feel yourself going down even more into relaxation. Looking up at the sky, seeing the number 7 take shape. If ever conscious thoughts come into your mind, just release them as quickly as they came in. They do not deserve you. They do not distract you. They only serve to take you deeper and deeper into relaxation. Going on down now, seeing the number 7 dissolve into the sky. Slowly the number 6 forms. Feeling your body relax, the tension relax. Allowing yourself to go even deeper into relaxation. Feeling calm and relaxed, calm and relaxed. Staring at that number 6. Noticing it slowly starts to dissolve into the clouds, dissolve into the sky. And every time it dissolves, you go even deeper into relaxation. Moving on down now to number 5. Seeing the number 5 form into the clouds. Feeling your mind and your body connect. Feeling relaxed. Calm and relaxed. Moving on down, seeing the number 5 dissolve into the sky. And seeing the number 4 appear. And when you get down to the number 1, you'll be all the way down to the bottom of relaxation. Laying there, sitting there in the field, staring at the number 4, watching it slowly dissolve, becoming more and more relaxed. As the number 3 appears. Seeing the number 3 written in the clouds. Feeling yourself calm and relaxed, calm and relaxed. Moving on down now. Watching the number 3 dissolve and the number 2 appear. Feeling more and more relaxed with every number down. letting go, releasing, seeing the number 2 slowly begin to dissolve, and the number 1 slowly takes shape all the way down to the bottom of relaxation, finding yourself all the way relaxed, feeling calm and relaxed. And I want you to begin to get in touch with your body. We're going to do a quick body scan just to see if there's anything our body is trying to tell us. And as we do the body scan, all you need to do is pay attention to the part that I say and just note if there's any kind of feeling there. We're going to start at our feet, noticing our feet, our toes, the arches of our feet, the heels, noticing any feelings there. Moving on up to your ankles, to your calves, up to your knees, to your thighs. Listening to our body, listening to what it's trying to tell us. Moving up to your hips and your pelvis. Moving on up to your stomach, your abdomen. Up to your rib cage. Just searching around, seeing if there's anything that stands out, and just noting it. Moving on up to our heart. Checking in, seeing how our heart feels. Is there anything it's trying to tell us? Moving up into your throat. Up into your jaw, your chin, your lips, your cheeks, your nose, up into your eyes, your forehead, all the way up to your hairline, up to the crown of your head. Noticing anything your body is telling you. Being open to hear it. I want you to just ask your body a question. What is it that you need from me? Just allow whatever to come to you. Whatever it is that your body needs from you. Perhaps it's something we've been neglecting. Perhaps it's a part of your body that is screaming out to you. Just allow anything to come to you. Allow it to come from your body. What is it that my body needs from me? Allowing it to come clear. Perhaps your body needs a certain kind of food, or it needs energy, or exercise, or stretching, or water. Maybe it needs sleep. Just allow it to come to you. And get clear on what it is that your body needs. what part of your body is asking for this. I want you, once you're clear in what your body needs, and if nothing came to you, that's okay. We can go back to this at any time. I want you to begin to get clear on what your intention is for this moon cycle cleanse. Is there something you want to release, something you want to gain, something you want to learn? Just allow yourself to get really clear on what it is you want to get out of this, what attracted you to this. You don't have to think about it, just let it come to you. There's an inner knowing within all of us. You said, well, it sounded interesting. Okay, what do you want to get out of that? You want to learn a new skill, another way to take care of yourself. You want to just learn more information. Allow your intention to come forward. Feeling it become stronger and stronger, clearer and clearer. And when your intention is clear, just notice where you feel it in your body. Where does that intention lie? And what does it feel like? Do you feel it in your heart, your throat? Do you feel it in your stomach? Just pay attention. Where in your body is that intention coming from? And what does it feel like? Memorizing, committing to memory, imprinting what it is it feels like in your body. What does it feel like to accomplish that intention? If you imagine yourself in 29 days, 28 days now, and you've accomplished that intention, picture yourself accomplishing it. What does that feel like in your body? Knowing that you committed to this for this whole time, you took care of yourself, you listened to yourself, and that intention came to fruition. What does that feel like in your body? Memorizing, committing to memory, what that feels like. And so in a moment, I'm going to bring you back into conscious awareness. But know you can go to this place anytime you want. You don't need me. Just go to that place of relaxation whenever you want. Into this inner knowing of your intention and where in your body you feel it. Being able to listen to your body a little bit more into what it is that your body needs. Coming back up now, 5. Coming all the way up, back to conscious awareness, 4. Feeling yourself rise back up from relaxation, 3. Back to the place that you're in, feeling the chair, the couch, the bed under you now. 2, all the way back up, becoming more and more aware aware of your surroundings, aware of the noises. 1, all the way back up, conscious awareness, wide awake, open your eyes, feeling relaxed and refreshed. Just thinking of it, if you get any itches or anything during meditation, feel free to itch yourself. That's fine. I had someone who was unable to itch herself because she wasn't sure if she was allowed to. So if you got scratches, if you got itches, if you need to move around, do whatever makes you comfortable. Okay, I'm going to post the journal question on the Facebook page. But it is going to be to write down what came to you as far as what your body needs and write down your intention. So those are the 2 things I want you to write down. And then in your journal, go into what your intention is, what it feels like, where you felt it in your body, how you know that you've reached it. All the prompts will be on the Facebook page, but essentially the writing today is just about the intention and getting very, very clear about it, as well as getting very clear on what it is that your body needs, that you want to change or to help support your body. And tomorrow, we will be doing what it is that our body has asked us to do. So mine asked for a little bit more physical activity. So I will be incorporating that in tomorrow. Any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out. If you had a weird experience, if nothing happened and you don't understand, feel free to reach out. I do say be gentle when you're first learning to meditate. Sometimes nothing happens at first, or it's hard to stay connected, or you get distracted really easily. Just kind of, it's a process. Just work with a process and it'll get there. Okay. Pay attention to a couple posts and then I'll see y'all tomorrow.